welcome back to Six Sister Stuff. One of the most common questions I get is how often I use my Instant Pot. I use it weekly. So these are the 6 things I cook in my Instant Pot every single week. So my name is Kristen, and every Monday I share an Instant Pot recipe with you. So if you're new to the Instant Pot or you want some ideas on what to cook in your Instant Pot, make sure you follow along so you won't miss any of my recipes. So if you follow me on my Instagram account, I just got back from an amazing conference in Dallas, Texas called Video Marketing World, and I told a pretty funny story. So go to my Instagram, go check it out. I would love to hear your response, and if you were in my situation, what would you do? So one common question I get from you guys is what I cook in the Instant Pot on a weekly basis. So I'm gonna show you what I make kind of to help me meal prep or get things ready for breakfast or to have healthy snacks when the kids come home. So these are the 6 things I cook in my Instant Pot every week. Number 1, the thing I cook the most is chicken. I usually cook raw chicken or frozen chicken. I do have a video for whole chicken. I don't cook that very much because I hate dealing with all the bones and other parts. I just like to cook my chicken and have it ready for my meals quickly. I like to cook my chicken, if it's thick, thawed chicken, for 20 minutes. If it's thin, thawed chicken, for 15. But if it's frozen, I don't like to go under 25 minutes, just so it will cook all the way through. I get a lot of comments that when cooking with meat, they don't like to do a quick release because they want to let it finish cooking. On this one, I say you could either do quick release or let it release on its own. Both are just fine.
So I'm gonna start with 3 frozen chicken breasts. You can use thawed if you want to. I'm doing frozen. I'm adding 1 cup of water on top, putting my lid on, make sure that the knob is turned to sealing, not venting, and I'm gonna push manual. Now you can push pressure cook button if you have that kind, but this model is manual button. Now frozen, I'm gonna go up to 25 minutes to cook my frozen chicken. If you have thawed chicken, you can do 15 to 20 minutes. Now when your Instant Pot is done counting down and it beeps, go ahead and turn the knob over to venting or quick release. And then when all of the pressure's out, you can go ahead and lift the lid up. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and drain the liquid out of my pot, and then I'm going to shred my chicken.
Number 2, frozen ground beef. Now not just any ground beef, frozen ground beef. I found that that works the best because it sticks together while it cooks and all the grease goes to the bottom. So frozen ground beef is so easy, and then you just chop it up with a chop and stir. I'm gonna show you how I do it right here.
Alright, so I'm gonna start with the 3 pounds of ground beef. Yes, that's a lot of ground beef, but I'll show you what I do with it later. So I'm gonna put my little trivet in the bottom of my pan. Then I'm gonna add about 1 cup of water, because you have to have the liquid in order for it to pressurize. Now it's time for the meat. Now I've put this on my counter for about an hour. It's still really frozen, so I'm gonna break it apart so I can put it in pieces in the Instant Pot. Now if you need to break up your meat into a few different pieces, it will still work. You just want to make sure that your meat is below the fill line so the lid will go on your Instant Pot. Now I'm just gonna hurry and go wash my hands, and then it's time to put the lid on. Now you want to make sure that it is sealed all the way and turn the little knob so it's on sealing, not venting. Okay, so I love my manual button or just a normal pressurize, pressure cook, whatever your Instant Pot says, and we're going to 25 minutes. Now when your Instant Pot's done, it will start counting up or it's releasing on its own. I let it release on its own for about 10 to 15 minutes. Turn the knob over, there's no steam to come out, so I can take my lid off. Now I wish you could smell my kitchen because it smells so good right now. Now it looks like it's still like a brick of meat, but don't worry, we're gonna turn it into ground beef and it will really look ground up. Okay, so I'm gonna take my 2 big chunks, and if you have multiple little chunks, put them all into a bowl. And the first thing I did is cut it up just a little bit. Now this is cooked together like a meatloaf really is cooked together. So you have to split up the meat. And doing this, it was the easiest to use a knife. Then once I cut it up into big chunks, I got my chop and stir. If you don't have one of these with your ground beef, I highly suggest getting one. They're like $6 on Amazon and it's my favorite. So I just chopped up all of my meat, and that really is all there is to it. This is gonna be my new way of cooking ground beef, and I am so excited. Now I just have to show you that all the grease literally dripped to the bottom of the pan, which makes it a whole lot healthier.
Number 3, hard-boiled eggs. Now, if you have never heard of the 5-5-5 method, you need to watch this. I love cooking my hard-boiled eggs in the Instant Pot because it cooks them perfectly and it helps the eggs peel really well. So the 5-5-5 method is that you cook it for 5 minutes in the Instant Pot, then you let it sit. After the timer goes off, you're gonna let it sit in natural release for 5 minutes, and then you're going to take your eggs
and put them in an ice bath for 5 minutes.
It just makes the perfect texture of eggs.
So I'm gonna add 1 cup of water to the bottom of the Instant Pot. Now I have this little thing, this trivet that came with my Instant Pot. You can also use a steamer rack or something else, but this one holds about 6 of them. So I'm gonna close up my lid, then make sure the knob is on sealing, not venting. I love my manual button, so I'm pushing manual, and we're going to 5 minutes. Now when it's done, you wanna let it sit, let the timer go up for about 5 minutes before you turn it on venting and take the lid off. Now the trick with boiled eggs is that you want to put them in ice water as soon as that 5 minutes is up and let them sit for a few minutes until they're cool. Then peeling them is a breeze since it's been sitting in that ice water. Now if you can see, cut this open, it is the perfect boiled egg.
Number 4, oatmeal. I love cooking oatmeal. So you can cook your oatmeal in the morning. It only takes about 4 minutes. But I actually love to cook my oatmeal the night before. So I put it in the pot and set the timer for 4 minutes, and then I walk away. I'm gonna let it stay on the warm setting all night long because the warm setting will last up to 10 hours. And then when I wake up, we have delicious oatmeal that I can serve all my kids, or if we have a busy Saturday morning, oatmeal is set, ready to go, and then you can just put whatever toppings you want. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, and then also I made a delicious pumpkin oatmeal that you can watch.
So I'm gonna use the old-fashioned oats because they cook the fastest and they're the easiest. So I'm gonna add 1 cup in here. You can add 3 or 4 or however many cups you want. Now the cooking time will be the same, but you just want a double ratio. So if you have 1 cup of oats, you want 2 cups of water. 4 cups of oats, 8 cups of water. All right, so go ahead and mix in your oats so they're all kind of touching or a little bit wet with the water. And that's all there is to it. Yay! Go ahead and put your lid on. Make sure that the little knob is turned to sealing, not venting here. Now push the manual or pressure cook button, and you're gonna go all the way down to 4 minutes. So whether you have 1 cup or 8 cups, it will still be 4 minutes. Now after you set the timer, it's going to beep and say on. That means you're doing it right, so go ahead and walk away. Your Instant Pot will start pressurizing, and then once it's done, it will show an L and it will start counting up. Once you have the L, that means it's done. So I'm gonna do a quick release, so I'm gonna turn that knob to venting, and then when all the pressure's out, I can lift up my lid. Then go ahead and mix it up. So this is your base oatmeal. Now I like to take this oatmeal and put it into serving size bowls. So I'm gonna be using canned pumpkin, it's my favorite. So first I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Next, about a pinch of cloves. It's about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Another 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Next, you're gonna add about 1/4 cup of your pumpkin puree, and you're gonna mix it all together. Now that pumpkin will smooth out because that oatmeal is hot. Now, if you're trying to go the no sugar route, you can put agave or any type of other sweetener in there for the brown sugar. Now it takes a little bit of time, but just keep mixing, mix it all together until everything is well combined.
Number 5, steamed vegetables. Okay, I've always struggled with steamed vegetables because they're kind of soggy. I usually steam them in the microwave or boil them on the stovetop. They're just not my favorite. That is until I started steaming them in the Instant Pot. Now, the vegetables I love to eat are like carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower all mixed together. You can always find packs of those at your local grocery store. So I put a whole package into the Instant Pot, add about 1/2 cup to a cup of water, and you cook it for 1 minute. Now, I know it does take time to pressurize, please remember that, but just 1 minute timer and you have deliciously crisp vegetables. That's what I love about them. They're cooked all the way through, but they're a little more crisp than if you make some soggy steamed ones. Now, you can watch how I do it here.
All right, I'm starting with actually a large bag of mixed vegetables, and I'm gonna just dump them right into the bottom of the Instant Pot. Then I'm gonna put 1 cup of water on top of the vegetables and put the lid on. Now once the lid is on, you're gonna take that little knob and turn it to sealing. You don't want it on venting. Then you're gonna push the manual button or the pressure cook button and go down to just 1 minute. Now if you're cooking 1 cup or 10 cups, you're still gonna cook it for 1 minute. Now when it's done, I turn the knob to let all the steam out so I can open it up, and I have some delicious steamed vegetables. I like to serve these with garlic salt and some cheddar cheese.
Number 6. The last thing that I cook in my Instant Pot every week is rice. I love Instant Pot rice so much that I actually threw out my rice cooker because it just didn't cook it the same. And I can cook a ton of rice if I need to. But you'll still only cook the white rice for 7 minutes. It doesn't matter how many cups of rice you have, whether you have 5 cups of rice or 1 cup of rice, because it is pressurizing, the cook time will stay the same.
Now you can make your rice different ways. You can use oil, you can use salt, but I just use 2 simple ingredients, which are rice and water. Now there are recipes that call for oil and salt. I'll also put those in the description below for you so you have all of your rice recipes right in the description. Okay, so on to the recipe. I have 1 cup of rice that I rinsed until the water ran clear. So this is my cup of rice, and I'm just gonna put it right in the bottom of my Instant Pot. And I know I should probably use a spatula or something, but my fingers are clean and it just works for me. All right, next I'm gonna add my water. So for 1 cup of rice, I like to add 1 1/4 cup of water, or chicken broth, or any type of liquid that I want to cook my rice with. The most simple basic recipe is just water. So 1 cup of rice to 1 1/4 cup of water. Now I like my rice a little bit softer, so that's why I do 1 1/4 cup. Okay, we're gonna put my lid on and make sure your knob is on sealing, not venting. Now, if your Instant Pot has a rice cooker, you can push that, but if it doesn't, you can just do manual or high pressure. That's what manual is, it's just high pressure. So because I love my manual button, that's what I'm gonna push. All right, so with white rice, we are going down to 8 minutes. Now you can go as little as 4 minutes, depending how you like the texture. I like it really soft, so 8 minutes it is. Then let the rice release on its own for 9 to 10 minutes. Then when you're done with the 9 to 10 minutes, you switch over the knob to venting, and it should let out all the rest of the steam. Then you can just pull your lid off, and it will be a little steamy, but your rice should be fully cooked. Now this is how I make the sticky rice. I love sticky rice for recipes because it's just a lot easier to eat. But if you add a little bit of oil, it will make it a little bit harder so it won't stick together. And I'll put that recipe in the description below for you. But for me, I love my sticky white rice.
All right, you guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I love cooking my Instant Pot. And so if you have any questions about your Instant Pot, I would love to hear about them. So make sure questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll try and get to as many as I can. Before you leave, one more thing. Now, I don't know if some of you know that, yes, I am on YouTube. The bigger part of the company is our website. We share lots of recipes, and we just came out with our number 8 cookbook, and I'm gonna show it to you. It is called 6 Ingredients. Now, I'm sorry, this one is not an Instant Pot one. That one's coming out next September. We're working on it right now, which I'm super excited for. But this one comes out next week. So if you are looking for simple, quick recipes, you can go check out 6 Ingredients on Amazon. Even though it comes out next week, Amazon is already sending these books to people if they order. And along with this, we are having a launch party. So if you live in Utah, my sisters and I were throwing a huge launch party with cookbooks there, with amazing free food, lots of vendors. It's going to be so fun. So if you want to come see me, I would love to see some of those that follow me on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description for the party so you'll be able to find times, dates, all that kind of stuff. All right, you guys, that's really all I have for you. I will see you guys next Monday.